Yes, it was certainly what I was looking for. I was hoping for such an exotic treat.
Would you like any sort of side?
What was traditional as a side for a corn dog?
Well, here at Zopnir's Emporium of Exotic Foods, we offer any sort of food that you might be looking for our discerning customers, our corn dog customers, as we like to call them. This can encompass a lot.
Well, just a sprig of information.
Oh, I happen to just have some information freshly in. And on what?
Well, there was a man named Lazaro that my boss recently had dealings with. Didn't seem all too keen on doing business with Ronnie, and I'd like to know why.
Oh, you work with Ronnie the Blue.
Yes, and she'll show her
Ronnie
little, pledge pin or whatever she got from him.
Nice. I do like some of that attire. Lazaro. The name rings a bell. Do you know anything more about him?
He was Ioti, right? I'm asking out of character.
He was not Ioti. He was. I can't remember now what the name of it. It's the Squid People.
Ishato.
The Ashato. Yes, it was close to Ioti.
Yeah, he was in the Ishato. So certainly not a native to this wonderful planet.
Oh, certainly not a native. We don't have many of them here, but word gets around. I'll be right back if you don't mind. I just have to prepare that for you. Enjoy your corn dog.
Thank you. And she will actually try the thing.
All right. You bite into it, and it's some sort of heavily spiced meat. It's all right. It's decent. It's certainly something that I mean wouldn't be too terrible for you. I assume you're a carnivore, right?
Yeah, consummate carnivore, prefers their meat raw. So if he took that into account, then that would be just keen.
He didn't. So it is a little off. It probably doesn't taste as great to you as if it was just raw meat, and the spices might throw you off. So if you do prefer your meat raw, this might be. It definitely tastes rather processed. So take that as you will. But after a short bit of time, he comes back, and he actually has some sort of dipping sauce for you, and he places it down in front of you and scoots it over, and I'm sure this will help you out. He leans in a little closer and he goes, I have actually heard of your Lazaro fellow. I personally heard that he was all thrown up into Panopticon. I heard for insurance fraud is last I heard, but I also heard that he was just sprung out, and you've done me a favor to telling me that Ronnie the Blue has him. That's good to know. But I find how his incarceration to be rather interesting. Did you hear he got taken down for insurance fraud?
Yeah, that was what I had heard.
Did you hear about what kind, though?
Out of character, did we? I don't think so.
It might have been mentioned in passing, but I don't remember if you asked much about it. I can't remember if you guys were told or if it was told in passing.
Well, let's pretend it wasn't.
That's totally fine because he's going to tell you anyways. Well, from what I've heard, is he made an entire planet. He said his planet was destroyed. Now, I don't know what you knew about Lazaro, but he used to be the governor, the whole planet, and yeah, apparently a rather new governor. It was he had to take over after all that chaos with, everything with, the disappearance and all the conflicting changes. Well, it was a tough time, and supposedly during that time he came forward and said his entire planet was destroyed. Lucky for him, he
I
managed to put
see.
in a yeah he managed to put in uh, a claim, some sort of insurance policy, which to me I've never even heard of. But I guess when you go to Panopticon, they'll insure everything. Turns out, well, the planet wasn't really destroyed, or so I've heard. And that's where Lazaro was gotten in trouble. The
I
the
see.
thing is, no one is able to find it. He's done something. He's fiddled and fuddled, and it's thrown everyone into a loop, and that's why Panopticon took him down. There's no evidence that the planet's destroyed, but there's no evidence of the planet, which is why his insurance claim initially went through.
Well, that is interesting. Yes. She'll look over to G-Men and note that we're going to want to talk later. Clandestinely as possible, of course. So anyway, let's go on.
Yeah. And that's what I know. I know there's something fishy. There's not much more word about it on the streets, but there's something going on there. I've heard a lot of people asking about Lazaro in recent times, at least. Even had some interest from some on-worlders, so that has been interesting. But
Sorry, did you just say on-worlders?
yeah, as opposed to off-worlders.
Right, but if they're from here, why would you call them on-worlders?
I couldn't think of a better word to call them at the moment.
Natives?
Dirtsiders.
Dirtsiders is also weird.
Lava. What? I mean, lava siders?
Well, I mean, again, they're just natives.
Yeah.
You're making like 2 or 3 word descriptions for like a one word.
Yeah, he could have
Locals.
said but ooh, that's the word I actually should have used. Locals. There you go. For some reason, I couldn't think of the word locals. Right. So he leaves you with that dipping sauce and walks off.
Yes, we'll finish it just because out of habit and, well, just the principle of things. He ordered food, going to eat it.
The dipping sauce was probably the good thing he brought over. Made the difference.
So it softened it up a bit. That's good. Well, then, after we have some privacy, she'll say to chime in.
After we've had some privacy? So this entire conversation right now hasn't been with privacy?
Well, it has been with somebody else. This will be us alone. Still with privacy, though, I would hope.
Lower the dome of silence.
Well, anyway.
I love the dome of silence.
It does seem
What?
weird that...
What?
It seems strange that...
What,
there
Chief?
would be no... Damn it.
Can't hear you. Don't think this is working.
Sorry, Arcloid.
I didn't fall for the joke or figure out the joke until too late. That's my problem.
That's okay.
So anyway, back in character, it does seem strange that there was no sign that the planet had ever been there or is missing. So that would mean that it never had any gravitational effect on its neighbors, if it was there at all. Just removing a planet from the system would cause all sorts of chaos.
You know, it's just word of mouth, right?
Yeah, so I guess we should go to the Jedi archives. Or no, not the Jedi, the Conductor archives.
No such thing.
Damn it.
Is there no such thing as the Conductor archives?
Well, there's only one person who would know, or only one group of people that would know, and they're not here anymore, so...
So what do you say we do about what we've learned? Should we go look the sales record and the planet up, see if we can't find anything?
To what end?
A huge insurance payoff?
No, he already got the huge insurance payoff. That's why he was in Panopticon. Why do you want to know?
Curious, but that is a trait that I can shed quite easily.
That is me asking in character why we want to know out of character. I recognize I have the goal to get dirt on this guy. I don't know why I want dirt on this guy.
Leverage.
For...
Whatever money he has left, I guess.
The
Originally,
character-
your curiosity had been piqued when you guys had picked up Lazaro and he had expressed concern that you were rescuing him for Ronnie the Blue.
And at this point, it's been revealed that he made a planet disappear.
No, that's word of mouth is that he made Plan disappear. I mean, I can spread
Worth
rumors.
figuring out then, I guess.
I can spread rumors. I made a whole solar system disappear. I'm pretty sure on the other side of the galaxy they might believe that too. The further you get away from the source of information, the more people are bound to believe it.
All the better to find out.
Is it though? I just don't understand why I care. Cool, he made a planet disappear. Good job, guy.
Well, if you find it, it's technically unowned at this point.
Well, no,
Yes.
if he was a governor of a planet, that indicates that there was other people. Those other people probably still own it.
Got a point there.
That's true.
I appreciate that you're motivated. I just don't understand what the motivation is. Cool story.
Sorry, I'm stumped.
That's okay.
You know that you wanted to know. You don't know why you wanted to know. And I don't know why you want to know either. So I'm just at a break here because I don't know why you want to know. What are you motivated to do?
I don't know. I guess the only thing that comes to mind is some kind of blackmail, but then we'd have to figure out what to blackmail him with or for.
Are we the baddies?
Yes,
Why are we blackmailing people?
for fun and profit. I don't know. Like I said, we'd have to figure out why and what for, and that's slipping my mind. So I guess at the
Well, yeah,
moment, don't ask me.
There's the question of how he did it, why he did it, and also what happened to all the people on the planet.
No, I think you're missing the very first question. If he did it.
Or if he did it. Yeah.
Again, I can spread rumors that I made a planet disappear. It's real easy. Also, maybe I just take a picture of the planet being there and then not being there and just start throwing that around like David Blaine that shit. Doesn't mean that it happened.
That's also a big if.
But even then, do I care? There's plenty of planets where people just go dead every couple of years. I mean, I'm not even joking. There is a
Funny
planet.
that you would live on a planet that dies every couple of years. Like, we got 1 or 2 left in us. It'll be fine.
No,
The next crew will pick up where we left off.
That's literally one of the sample planets. Is a planet that, like, even down to the bacteria on the planet, it's totally unlivable except for the things that people bring. Yeah, something weird with the sun or something like that. The whole world is like sterilized every couple of years, so you get off of it real quick.
That reminds me of there's a game, there's a book, there's a sci-fi book that entirely has that premise where like everyone in the world like there's a huge fire that will ravage and destroy the entire world every like X number of years, and in between each of those those years categories, they like play this intricate game in order to become the emperor. And then once you've become the emperor, like you and everyone that placed highly in the game are like saved and go to the one safe spot on the planet that doesn't burn up,
Right.
and everyone else burns.
Well, apparently this planet has no safe spot, and it's just like, ruins of the past civilizations. Like, the thing doesn't destroy anything that's left behind. Just everything that's biological is just dead.
That's cool.
Anyway, yeah, places like that exist. So a guy claiming that he made a planet disappear just doesn't seem like, okay. What of it? Clearly not that great and powerful. You live on a cavalcade and you just go wandering around.
You don't have to live on a planet at all.
Well, that also, you got arrested, so clearly not all that great and powerful.
Yeah. I mean, he had to cash his insurance policy somehow.
That he had to cash an insurance policy, not that great and powerful. He's still beholden to money, so even though he can make planets disappear. Also, he didn't, like, threaten a planet, like, give me all your money or I'll make you disappear. He cashed an insurance claim. He's just a grifter. I don't find that to be impressive. And I don't want to blackmail somebody like that, because they're just not that worth it. So what's the point?
The point is, I had a bad idea.
No, it was
I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I just don't understand the motivation. We've come a pretty far way on this motivation that now you don't know why you had it.
Well, to take a page from the host's book, there is the people there that we could maybe save and get grateful to us, but that's a far-fetched possibility.
Took a while to finally go, oh wait, there's people in danger. They might need to be saved.
Yeah, but we're mercenaries, aren't we? We would need them to hire us, or we would need somebody to hire us to then find them. Seems like your motivation at that point would then to be find a relative of somebody from the planet that's gone missing who's searching for their lost relatives. But then again, if the planet's not really missing, and this is just some sort of large-scale, insurance conspiracy, then no one's going to be talking about it. It's like one of those large-scale game developments that didn't, with an NDA policy. Hey, everyone, we're doing this large-scale insurance claim. Keep your mouth shut for 5 years, and then we'll all get a cut of the profit. No one's going to hire us because there's not going to be anybody that wants to open their mouth.
True. All right, then.
that is an interesting aspect with NDAs.
Yeah.
So many secrets with NDAs out there.
Yeah, but in this context, though, the NDA would be, hey, don't say anything and we'll make a lot of money in 5 years, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So what would you two like to do then? Would you like to, return back, or do you have any other fact-finding missions you'd like to go on?
I guess make our way back to the apartments or wherever
Okay.
we've set ourselves up.
Man, the only thing I can kill is the energy in the room.
So, Griffin, you're asking and
Hey, hey.
talking to all the neighbors.
That's
What-
right.
What are you looking for? What is your goal? What are you asking around for?
Hi, I'm Itherlin. I'm new here. It's nice to meet you. This is my husband over here, Dr. Ivan Lisk. Yes, he has a degree, and he's probably going to get like a nice high-paid job around here. It's so nice to meet you. I really just love talking with people and hearing about how things are here. How's everything been with you? We've been having a great movement and everything. What are things like for you here?
Oh, it's nice. The jobs are all right. Most of us work in factories, and so that keeps us rather active. It feels nice to be
Mhm.
moving up. This does seem to be a decent place, although it's recently changed management, and we're not quite sure if that'll be for better or worse. Um,
Oh,
it's a
new
decent place.
management.
Oh,
You mean
they
that
kind of look.
Lazaro fellow?
Uh, you scroll, Ognar scroll.
Oh, Ognar scroll. Sorry, I was looking at like my sheet here and I got completely confused. Yeah, Ognar scroll. Oh yes, yeah.
Well,
He seemed like such
if
a
you're new
nice
here,
fellow.
he's a little iffy. I've heard things about him. I've heard he's uh, rather volatile, and I've even heard rumors that he might be associated with the underworld and underworld
What?
activities. Be careful.
No.
A nice couple like you should be careful.
Oh well, and I'll just like pull like Ivan into like a strangle hug. It's like I'm glad he says.
Yeah, it's always nice to see some new neighbors. Do you appreciate a casserole?
Oh, I haven't had a good casserole in probably about a few years now. I've just been traveling so much with Ivan's work here. Uh, you're not making some tonight, are you?
Well, nothing like a good casserole to welcome some neighbors. We'll bring it over a little bit later.
Mhm.
It's but welcome. Aside from he's a little worrisome. We're a little bit
Mhm.
concerned, but um, I mean, we're nobodies. So it's it's not like I mean, mostly
Oh,
he doesn't bother with us. I've heard he even fights for the workers, but who knows?
well, no need to put yourself down like that. You're not nobody. You're a worker too. And I'll just like put my hand on her shoulder and go, and just sort of keep up the conversation too after little pep talk.
Yeah.
And I'll sort of ask like, oh yeah, we were browsing around for places for a while, and this one came up. There's also this other one over at this location. I wasn't really too sure about it, but had you heard anything about it? It seemed a little bit strange at first. I'm not sure what it is that warded me off from there. And of course, I'm mentioning like the place we're going to go to later and see like, do the locals know anything?
This is actually the same building that you're going to.
Oh, he means
Yes.
we need to clear out this building.
Yes, and he didn't say how much of the building. It seemed to imply that it would only be maybe a floor or several rooms, but not the entire building.
Right, and I guess to help that out too, did he imply like that would be like permanent or temporary or
He didn't quite say, but that's a good question to bring up and ask him.
right? So in the meanwhile, mostly what I'm doing is, of course, like I've said here, I'm just introducing myself. I'm being polite, friendly, I'm making friends, and maybe I'm looking to see who can put up who if it really came down to it. Which is kind of
Okay.
part like slight side questions and then observations. So,
Yeah. Give me a mind and a questioning roll.
Okay, I can do that. Hey, wouldn't you know it? I have cosmetology and gossip.
You're great at
Uh,
this.
that I am. I'm gathering info, and I won't piss anyone else off asking weird questions about where they're staying and why is this place so dirty. Do I have a favorite use with questioning right now? Because that D12's looking pretty nice
Juicy.
there. Yeah. So what would I call this here? What if I chose a type of people? What if I just said questioning, but with workers?
Yeah, you're good with the common folk.
Yeah. I'll
It's
change it to
just
that.
enough.
Common folk. Yeah, 3 successes.
So you're chit chatting with these lower class workers, and you're asking some questions. You learn the first thing you learn is that the upper floors are less populated because the Ioti are a people that they come from the earth, and just almost as a general species uh, they prefer to be closer to the ground than
Yeah,
uh,
universal fear of heights or something even.
exactly. It's almost as if all of them have some sort of fear of heights, and that's why you get less and less IoT as you get higher and higher. And even some of the IoT on those upper levels are either weird or crazy, or maybe something is a little unhinged, and so you do have more off-worlders, um, off dirt siders, as Theta might refer to them. Um, on higher levels, and that's what you learn kind of about the IoT people. As you're asking around, this this seems to be a fair mix of mostly workers, but a decent number of folks that also work at the security center that is next door. And you learn that there has been a little bit of unease and a little bit of shifting of maybe one might say a shifting of winds in recent months and weeks, in which uh, the political situation on Putov has been unstable, and there's been some tensions between the research and the common people and these underworld types and the corporate merchant uh, kind of factions. Most of the factions have had just slightly more and more tension as of recently. Um, and in addition to that, you've also learned you learn from one of the someone that's rather proud of his job. You learn that the security center next door is actually the main hub for the entire megacity that you find yourself in. They run and
Interesting.
organize the security for the entire megacity.
I
Now, other
see.
cities have
Very
other
interesting.
other hubs, but this is one of the main facilities. I I'm proud to be finally working here. It took a good number of years at working some minor locations before finally be able to get transferred to here. Major room for potential.
Wow, that's so impressive. Mitherland says, like in the back of her mind, it's like, "Oh, cops are back." Just constant grumbling in the back of her head. But she keeps up her smiles and goes, "So the central hub, huh? Wow, there must be like absolutely no crime left then at this point with you on the job."
Oh, whoa. Well, crime is still a problem, and it takes hardworking jobs like ours to try to stop all that crime from happening.
Hmm.
In fact, I bet you don't even know any criminals, and that's all due to us.
Wow.
We, if we maintain a safe working environment for all IoT, and it does take some serious effort and investment, and uh, well, that's what's so great about these apartments here is it's cheap living for a lot of off-worlders, and they can really help with a lot of the security here.
Yeah, I see. And I
Is
guess
that why you came here? Are you coming to work for work to help
oh
provide a safer Putov?
oh well, not quite so noble as that. My Ivan here is just a humble scientist, you see, a researcher.
Oh, a
Ivan, why
researcher.
don't you bore them with your degree real quick and shift the conversation, of course. And I guess with that information, that's really good to know. And now I kind of know exactly what our employer is up to right now. So that's good. Um, so I guess in all that, how do the rest of the people kind of feel about like the security forces in the city?
Um, they aren't. These workers don't seem too riled up. They also live right next to one of these security hubs, so you get a sense that this building might be uh, more amenable, more friendly towards that
Right.
element of society. It doesn't seem like there might be like one or two malcontents, and you meet more malcontents up at the higher levels, towards
Hmm.
the levels that you're at. And as you're asking around, you also know that the level that you're on, there's only two occupied, uh, even like apartment pods, and that's yours and that nice couple that's right next to yours.
Okay.
But even the upper levels are starting to be even abandoned or
Hmm.
completely empty.
Okay. So there's actually a lot of empty space up here. Uh, so I guess after like a lot of talking around and stuff, question that comes to my own mind is how good are the locks around here?
The locks aren't great at all.
Is it something that could be broken with one success of crafting? I
Sorry.
spotted a fly.
The bugs are not the bugs. The locks are not great at all. Most of the locks on all these doors are pretty pretty bad. They
Okay,
would just require a one craft success to break in.
that's perfect then. I'll go ahead and preemptively declare we have 2 weeks. Part of what I'm going to do across that 2 weeks is Ivan and I will slowly go to each of the abandoned areas and slowly just unlock those doors and leave them unlocked.
Okay, so we'll fast forward to that night. Everyone has returned from their various expeditions.
Have some casserole,
Uh,
guys. It's delicious.
yeah, a little bit later, she comes by with a baked casserole to welcome her new neighbors. She's we'll say that she's an uh maybe a middle-aged Towser. This is the
Okay.
yeah here.
Yeah.
This is the casserole I make for all uh my more discerning friends who have no enjoyment of the finer silicates. Because if I remember, Tousers eat silicon, right?
Yeah, I think they're
Aren't they?
metallivores.
Yeah, they have some weird eating policies, but
Yeah, they
this
eat
this
silicates and
looks
rocks.
yep. This looks not like rocks.
Well, you'd be happy to know G-Min over here, I bet he's part rock. He'd probably eat a rock.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Mitherlin, you devil! You should have told me that you. Uh,
Oh, I guess I just forgot to mention we got a couple of other roommates here. They have some industrial jobs around here that they're going to be getting to. Maybe
oh,
we'll maybe we'll even see your husband over at the factory.
oh,
Well,
that
if
would
they're
be
at the
so
same one, I
enjoyable.
don't even know.
You could be friends. Oh, delightful. Well, I'll leave you all to it. It looks like
Oh,
she
thank
looks
you
around at
again.
the falling apart furniture and
Mhm.
the old stuff around. Looks like you still have some unpacking to do. Uh, and she
Just
might
a little
even
bit.
if you have like your rail gun or any of the weaponry out, she might
Yeah,
ah
there's probably like a blanket over one of the.
some
Yeah, all these
I can't
boxes.
wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see all this stuff unpacked, and oh, I'm so excited. I'll see you later. She'll leave.
Okay. And then I'll turn around to the rest of the group. And such nice people around here. Well, how was your day, Nefiru? Jamin? Get anything good out there?
Well, we learned that Ronnie either made a planet disappeared, or he owned a planet that disappeared, or he owned a planet that never existed.
How do you make a planet disappear? I mean, that'd be like Myriad technology at that point.
With words.
Syndic technology.
He used words and made a planet disappear.
Well, you just shouted at it?
No, he just told people it disappeared. I'm sure.
I guess that works too. Kinda weird though. I mean, if he didn't just lie through his teeth about it, that'd have to be some huge piece of technology right there.
What seems more likely? That he ran an insurance scam and told people that a planet disappeared, or that he stumbled upon increasingly rare Syndic technology that made an entire planet disappear and then was able to be arrested for it.
Well, people seem to think he was really a governor, so
if you're
I mean,
gonna
it had to have
lie,
existed.
if you're gonna lie, make it easy to believe.
Again, he was arrested. If you think he had some sort of mystic Syndic technology that could make entire planets disappear, but some cops arrested him, then I don't know what to say.
Well, making a cop disappear and making a planet disappear are two different things.
Well, you can't
It's
exactly
much
fit a
harder to get
bulldozer
rid
in
of
your
cops.
pocket.
A planet's easier to hit than a cop
Sure.
or a person. Yeah. One's like hitting the broadside of a very large barn, and the other is like hitting the broadside of a small barn.
I think I'd like to know, though, if he could get ahead of anyone else on this kind of thing, and he's the only person who knows and no one else does? Heck, an easy payday right there. Nothing else. And, well, I guess if it's all lies, we could just hold it over his head for a bit.
How are we going to hold it over his head?
I don't know.
We broke
I'll figure it out
people.
as I go.
We are known to have aided breaking him out of jail.
Yeah, we'll throw him right back in if he doesn't give us money or something. I don't know. I'm not really good at this whole blackmail kind of thing. I don't know why I'm even thinking about it.
Why do you want to blackmail anybody?
I don't. That's the thing. I want weird alien technology that sells for a lot. That's actually worth something.
So you want to steal a weapon of mass destruction and then sell it on a black market?
I can help with that.
You understand that you live on the things that will be destroyed by it, right?
Yeah, that's true. You make a good point. Making sure nobody else ever gets it ever again is also a pretty good thing. Sounds like the thing the universe doesn't need, you know.
Well, I just want to again point out that the thing that we're talking about is imaginary.
Yeah, well, you know, I'll look for some proof for that. It's not exactly high on my mind, but
I mean, okay, sure. I can also sell you a sun-destroying gun if you want.
Oh yeah, sure. How much does that go for these days?
I also have some prime real estate in the swamps of Florida that you might be interested in.
I got a bridge I can sell you, but
I got a
Eli,
timeshare.
quick question about goals right now. So, rendezvous with Ronnie the Blue isn't actually a real goal. It was just like a part of one, right?
The goals you had, and one you've already completed, was to take care of the planetary scientists.
Uh-huh.
The other one was to try to dig up some dirt on Lazaro and find out what's going on with him.
Yeah.
And yeah, you wanted to meet up with Ronnie the Blue, but that was more of a
it's a story bookend, not a goal.
A story point. Yeah.
But presumably doing the
chapter.
new job is probably also going to be a goal, right?
Yeah, if you want to take up that job, then he would most likely.
Wait,
that would most likely be a goal.
What was the chapter?
Rendezvousing with Ronnie the Blue.
Which was when?
Whenever we do it.
Did we not already? Didn't we do it already? Didn't he
this
hear
was
on?
No.
He's not
at
here on the
Sarkov.
planet? Oh, okay. Oh,
Right,
right,
no.
right. He's in the future.
He's in the
Yeah.
he's in the future.
Well, I mean, he's not here. I can only rendezvous with him when I get there, and I'm not there right now.
I want to start saying that. I'll be like, I'll meet you in the future.
Well, I mean, literally, he's not in my present. He can only be in my future.
Okay.
I mean, that feels like just a catchphrase.
I stopped referring to things, geographically. I only now refer to things, temporally.
I feel like that would be a very fifth dimension. Are you fifth or fourth dimensional? What was it?
Well, fourth dimension.
I feel
Well,
like
at the
because isn't
moment, I'm stuck in the third dimension because my fourth dimensional aspect is dead, and it doesn't appear again until a chapter. So,
Oh, until the chapter ends?
yeah.
I may have to. That's just something I don't know the timing of.
At
Right,
the
I
moment,
guess we can.
At the moment, I'm a floating head rock with no body because my body was my leitmotif, and my leitmotif is dead until the chapter rolls
Right,
over.
so
How
you kind of
long-
are slowly revealing to us that you're depowered here or something.
How long do chapters usually last in a Myriad Song Iron Claw?
You are so very much the Captain Kirk from the cartoon Family Guy. Where you're just, how much are the chapters? How do they
much
last?
are the chapters?
My instinct is generally an arc. So by the time we leave this planet and finish up whatever this story is here, probably because it seems like it's going to be a multi-session, multi-goal kind of thing to be here, wrap stuff up, and then leave. And so then when we meet back with Ryan the Blue, that sounds like a chapter end to me.
I mean,
That's my gut instinct.
in our defense, we always have an arc with us.
Ah.
But ish.
Good job. All right.
Just every time Arcloid tells a story, then that's our story arc, and you can get your leitmotif back.
Is that a story arc or is it just arc story?
True?
Yeah. I guess back into the character, Mitherland will try to start dodging away from planetary death lasers and why I may or may not want them. And instead go, well, I told you about the job from that we're here to do. Or that we're gonna stay here to do for a bit. We'll get our ship and everything at the end.
We already did that job.
No. He wants us to clear out some places downstairs in this building after he has some equipment ready.
Like a janitor?
No, of people.
Like a janitor?
I'm gonna file that under you're a rock and don't understand life, but
Life. Don't tell me about life. Brain the size of a planet. Got me opening doors.
Get us some tea too while you're at it. What kind of tea?
What, like the movie?
Yeah. But yeah, where was I? I'm trying to get my brain back on track. Right, so currently we're on job to do this so that we can get a ship. He'll want us moving some people out from downstairs, and I assume he probably doesn't care how. I've been talking with people and getting an impression of them. There may or may not be a couple of people who work security on or around that floor, but more importantly, there's a security center across the street. If we do anything too terrifying or too illegal and someone sees and says stuff, not gonna go great.
Set the building on fire.
I don't think he'd want that because he's obviously trying to set up a listening post.
Well, an abandoned building is just as good as a listening post as an occupied one.
I could debate that, but that's what our employer wants, and I don't think he's going to want his stuff burned down. Otherwise, he'd just do it himself.
If he didn't tell you not to burn the building down, then how would we know that?
I'm going to assume he doesn't want it, because if we do things wrong here, he's going to pull some company town bullshit on us, and we're going to be stuck, quote, in debt to him until we work it off, which by I mean we're going to be permanent slaves here forever.
Did he even mention collateral damage at all?
I'm gonna take that under implied.
So you were saying no then?
You
I'm
also
saying
believe
I don't
he
want
gave
you to
you
do
a.
collateral damage.
You also believe the description he gave you, Mitherland, might have been a pretty rough, like, here's a selling point, and he might have more information to give you if you go back and discuss it with him.
Also, we're
Right.
wanted criminals. He's not going to slave town us.
You never know.
Well, he couldn't. The moment that he would try to get any legal, maneuverings on top of us, we're wanted criminals.
He could also just throw us into a hole forever of his own design, and no one would say anything otherwise.
2/3 of us can fly. I don't think that'll work.
Well, I guess Mitherland just crosses like all
could
4 of her
throw a
arms for a
hole
second.
He could throw a pit on you.
I'll redirect that. It wouldn't work.
Ah!
I mean, personally, I'm not afraid of the planet-destroying laser. I'll just redirect it.
Mitherland like puts her hand to her face for a second and then looks at you. It's like I'm talking to a rock.
What happens to the Death Star when it fires on itself?
Well,
We now know
anyway.
what happens when people talk to brick walls.
Right now, he says he's going to need about 2 weeks to probably get this all done and settled and ready to go. By that point, he'll have more instructions and we'll catch up with what he actually wants at that time. And you can also ask him those questions yourself because you'll be there instead of in a junk heap.
I wasn't in a junk heap. I was with Nefiro.
Yes.
You were unconscious. You don't you don't know what I did to you. Anyway.
Wow,
But
that
you
is
call it
Oh
teabag.
god,
that-
that went way darker than
is
it
that
was
like-
in my head.
Rape charges now? What are we doing?
Gee.
It's been like 3 days. You still haven't found like the graffiti I drew on the back of your head.
These guys made it so that when I pee into a cup that I can dispense. You drew graffiti on me. Well, now we really know who has the real criminal minds.
That does remind me. At some point, I'm gonna want to buy some more rounds for the railgun. So I have to do a black market roll.
Me peeing
Well-
into a cup reminds me that you need to buy gun rounds.
Well, you said mentioned refilling basically, and yeah.
What's that pee in a cup noise? Oh, that reminds me. I need rounds for my gun.
I still got
Yeah,
ammunition.
I kind of want to hear how that conversation goes. Yeah. All right. So there's you pee into a cup, and all of a sudden you need to buy some railgun ammunition. It's starting to be later in the day. You've come home to eat some of this Towser's casserole. Do you want to wait to do it the next day, or do you want to go out late at night?
Late at night seems like the best time to do some illegal shopping.
That seems pretty good. So a black market roll.
Yeah, I found a fence.
You easily found a fence. You easily found someone who could hook you up with any sort of information, with any sort of not information, but weapons or black market goods.
All right. Well, I've learned how much some of these cost. The where'd I put it? Where did I put it on the sheet? I can't scroll and talk at the same time, so give me a moment.
That's okay. Take all the time to scroll you need.
Okay, so it's 20 quavers each, and shot out. Let's see. Oh, I need to get, I believe, 8. No, 9. Yeah, because 9 plus 9 is 18, plus the other 2 is 20 total. So yes.
Yeah, but I can't handle how much Vaseline you wipe on your camera, Eli.
Is that coming from my camera? Are you getting that? Do I look blurry to you, Griff?
Yeah, you do.
Really?
Kind of weird.
Because you look blurry to me, but those two look crisp.
Weird.
All right, I'm just going
Weird
to take
indeed.
the money off here.
You're buying 20 notes of ammunition?
No, it's 20 quavers each
Oh,
round.
quavers.
I'm buying
Okay.
9 of them and then also picking up a frag grenade. And if anybody else wants them, they'll have to pay for them.
Okay. Is anyone sending any orders with Neferu?
I might for some holdout and pistol ammunition. I just got to figure out how much it costs again. Actually. Ooh, wow, high explosives 15. Yeah, never mind on that. How much does basic ammunition cost? Wasn't like 1% of it, Arc?
Depends on the weapon and ammunition for it. If it's a one shot, it usually costs a little bit more.
I got a holdout pistol and a semi-auto pistol.
All right. Scrolling up. Okay, it's a reload for a non-military weapon, so it's actually 5% of the weapon's cost.
Okay.
And if it's a prescribed weapon, then I get it for half that. And if it's expensive and prescribed, I get it for 45%.
Let's see. 5% of 1.5. 0.05. Hey, that is really, really cheap. And the semi-auto pistol is also the same. So 0.075 per reload.
Oh wow, you could have a lot of reloads then.
So tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and just buy like 10 reloads total for 7.75. Make it easier on myself.
Makes it really easy.
0.5.
For the frag grenade, I'm going to buy 2 of them so I don't have this problem right now. But if I get a total note cost of, say, 1.125 for buying something that was 1.5 at half price, do we round it up or down?
Oh, you have a fraction of a quavar?
Well, I would if I didn't buy 2 grenades, but I want to know for later what you would rule on that.
Does the game say anything about doing that? Like, is there any precedent anywhere about how to split up quavars?
Not that I know of. I think it's up to you if you
Oh,
want.
the fractional one goes to our donations.
Would you like to round up for our charity?
We pass it forward to the next customer.
I would probably say round up.
Okay.
As it's supposed to be a listed 1.5, right? Or 1 and whatever. I assume someone wouldn't give you a discount, like as long as it's still giving you a discount, or would it not give you a discount if you rounded up then?
I would still get the 50% off, but yeah, the original cost is 2.25, so it goes to 1.125.
I
And
would say round up.
Okay, that's what I figured. But like I said, I'm going to buy 2 of them since I still have the carry capacity. So I'll just start my next fight with 6 grenades just in case.
Okay. Then what would you all like to do?
Well, we do have 2 weeks.
You have 2 weeks, so we can fast forward time. Is there any other downtime things you would like to do? You guys tell me what's going on in your noggins.
I mean, I got 2 weeks to radicalize this entire apartment.
And you were talking about unlocking every single apartment on this floor. Certainly, with the amount of time you have, you can 100% do that.
Yeah, so that's definitely one of the things, and that probably wouldn't take more than like a couple of just like night walks or something. It's like, oh hey, no one lives here. From everything we've heard, there's nothing on the signs. It's just like, boop, there you go, pop it open. Now there's a free room for someone to go to later.
Okay. So you got those all opened up. That's easy to do.
Mm-hmm. And
Anything
other than
else?
that, I'm just talking to everyone and slowly trying to tell them, like to organize together.
Organize together to, like, you're just trying to
Union
build
like,
solidarity.
basically. Yeah, build
Ah,
solidarity is the key word here.
build
Get people
solidarity in the
talking,
entire
telling
company.
like we have these resources here. We could put someone up if someone needs bandages, things like that. So working together more is basically the
All
ultimate
right,
goal here.
you're trying to create a situation in which people are more likely to help each other if
Mhm.
if they have to move out or go somewhere else. Okay, that
Exactly.
makes sense.
And even if I leave, that's still a good thing. So there you go, perfect.
Okay.
Do you want to roll for that at all, or is that just an easy
We'll
sell?
roll. We'll roll when it like if you guys end up trying to take that diplomatic tact. What we can have you do is I'll have you roll like a pre-roll for that, and if you
Mhm.
succeed, then it'll give you an assist on any of your like on diplomatic handlings of a later situation.
Okay.
But we'll wait till we get to that situation so that we don't forget it, or so that's more an active thought.
Okay. So I'm good. I have my plan. What are you guys gonna do?
Float. We all float up here.
Hover ominously in the same place for 2 weeks. Like, you're burning a hole in the rug. How? I'm not putting weight on it.
Fourth dimensional powers. So we can just fast forward through 13 days. Is that how far you want to take it? 13 days until the day before he said he'd be ready to do the job?
Yeah, I might like go like a day before, go ask like, "Hey, how's it going? What's up?" and do the talk. I'll bring everyone with me.
Do we want to save that until, or how do we know when Rafferty will be coming back? Or do you
Not
know,
before the 3rd.
The 3rd?
Yeah.
So
Ooh, yeah.
the 3rd of October. So then I just wanted to double check, because if he was going to come back like somewhat soon, then we could
Yeah.
wait and so that he got the same briefing everyone did.
Mhm.
So you guys get all together and head to Ognor Scrolls. What is there anything you'd like to prepare before you go? Is there just like if there are there any certain outfits you'd like to wear? Are you coming prepared with anything? I know, Nefair, you like to haul around your weapons all the time.
Tie-dye shirt.
I'm just
I have
all
2
right.
concealable weapons, and I have my punk outfit.
All right. So you arrive on to the usual operating facility of Ognar Scroll, and you're noticing there's a lot of activity going around. The people in his specific factory seems to be just either energized or just working harder. They just seem to be there's just a lot more energy in the air when you arrive. And in Ognar Scroll, almost as soon as you knock or are announced, you're almost let in immediately. And Ognar beams, "Oh, it's good to see you all. Exciting things have been happening. Exciting things. Have you watched the news at all recently?"
I've been trying to keep up with it. Actually, have I heard anything?
Yeah, you have. You've heard recently that there have been, especially on the scientific the side of things, there's been some major upheaval, and some large and crazy theories have been both disproved and proved, and there's been a lot of chaos. And with that, you've heard of lots of tough debates and a lot of different scientists both losing and gaining jobs. And over the course of the past 13 days, your lovely neighbor has expressed concern to you several times about Dr. Ivan Ivan Lisk, entering a rather volatile job market at this point for scientists. It seems to be that that anything could happen. There's so many big changes. It seems to be a completely different restructuring.
Mhm.
You also hear some rumors of some unfortunate accidents and misplacements and bungling even that might have caused a serious amount of research and uh, equipment to even malfunction, causing several people to lose their jobs and uh, several investigations to be launched about research practices.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Seems like a whole lot of things are going on. A little bit over my head, but wow.
Yeah. So that was all like what you had heard over the past 13 days. And
Hmm.
so Agnar goes, well, it seems like I'm more than thrilled with the success that your mission did. It's done exactly what I needed, and so much so that I'm super excited for the next stage and for your next part. Told Mitherlin just a little bit, but how have Jamin, Neferu, have you uh, have do you know anything about what I proposed to your comrade here? Your
Not yet. He hasn't said anything to me, at least.
I told you 2 weeks ago. You already forgot.
What's the
Uh,
deal about collateral damage?
I told them about the
collateral.
spaceship, and I told them about your job.
Yes. So collateral damage. Interesting question. Yes. So I'm hoping that well, you've been staying in that apartment complex for a while. There's a couple of rooms on some of the lower levels that would be perfectly ideal for this equipment that we've managed to acquire. Rather cheap, I should say. Uh, the scientific community is in such upheaval. A lot of equipment is being sold rather cheaply. Uh, but I would request that you clear out about half a floor of occupants by certainly whatever means you deem acceptable. And I will send a technician or two to assist you, and they can set up the equipment. And I merely need you to uh, make sure that the equipment is operating successfully and continues to do so for. Let me see. I think it should, or so my research and technicians say it should take 2-3 days to sort everything out, and then the job will be complete, and I'll have your ticket out of here.
Well,
So I was right
sounds
then.
simple and straightforward.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. What was that?
I said, so I was right then. You don't care about collateral damage.
Oh well, the rights of the people are very important, and uh, but
If the rights of the people were very important, you wouldn't hire outsiders to take care of them.
well, the thing is, a lot of those folks that are staying in that apartment complex are, uh, well, to be honest, they're not great people. They have sided with uh, um,
So we set a
some.
fire to the building. The first couple of floors get damaged to the point where they need to be repaired. Those people get evicted for a short period. Not evicted. These people get assigned living locations for the time being while the building is being renovated. You have your technician in place, their listening post equipment into the renovations so that they get covered up unseen. You still have everything you want. Those people will eventually move back in, and your equipment will be in the walls, as it were, and thus not a worry.
That that could definitely work. You're certainly onto something.
Nobody
Uh,
gets hurt.
if if that's what you'd like to do, you're more than welcome to do that.
Just saying that we take advantage of the infrastructure that's available to us, namely the infrastructure of bureaucracy. A fire need not hurt anybody. All it has to do is scare them out of the way, and then we can be present to ensure that nobody is killed or harmed in the process.
I certainly appreciate your outside view. That thought hadn't even occurred to me. That is why you always hire outside consultants. Yeah, I'm more than willing to take that method. My technicians just merely have to be able to come in and set up shop for a few days, and rebuilding would work perfectly.
Hmm. And then after those few days, what do you plan to do from there? Is the equipment going to be moved out again?
I don't quite. Oh, the equipment. Yes. To be completely honest, I wasn't really a concern of mine. Yeah, I think the equipment might be well utilized. After 3 days, we should be able to take the equipment out, but I believe that'll be the least of our worries.
Hmm. You know, I think then it's probably pretty valid to ask, what is all of this and what exactly are you planning? I have something in mind for what you're thinking of, and I'm curious to see if it lines up.
Oh, by all means, I'd love to hear your theory.
Well, let me take a stab in the dark here. This is a listening post
Well,
for the nearby
that
security station.
the security station the security station is a rather crucial element to this plan, but a listening post is not quite what we're planning. It is. He clams up and he clacks his hands together, and looks at you each for a moment. Do you know what I've just decided?
What's
I've
that?
decided that, well, I know this might be a difficult task, and I know that there could be some dangers involved, and I've appreciated what you've done for me up to so far. So let me just show my appreciation, and as a signing bonus, and he reaches out or into one of his pockets and pulls out a big old wad of notes, and he places in front of you. There are the three of you and uh, Dr. Ivan Lisk. So he'll put out four piles of 5 notes, kind of in front of him on a small coffee table. And he just kind of he leaves them in front of him, or in front of you, I should say. He puts it on your side of the coffee table.
Mhm.
It's not quite a listening post, you see. It's it's a mechanism which I have been assured will help disable that security hub, which, as you might know, or if you might have heard, it is the local hub for security. It coordinates a lot of the other uh, minor uh, security offices all around the city, and it helps guide all the security offices and the security elements, security cameras, things like that. Uh, and so I have interests in disabling that for a short time, while my associates and I can make some necessary changes.
Interesting. Still rather vague on the how, of course. This isn't
Well,
an explosive matter, is it?
it will be rather explosive around the
Ah.
city, that is. You have done a crucial job in providing some stabilizing elements to the the researchers and the scientists that are so snooty and overbearing over the rest of us. And well, it's allowed us to get a rather large EMP device. And well, if we can utilize this, as I believe we should be able to do, we can destabilize and disable their entire center of security. And well, at which point we can take back the rights of production for the people.
I see. All right. I was more or less worried about how much it might backfire on us, and at least this answers that question. And I'll look over to Nefiru and Jimin and see, what are you guys thinking? Do you guys have any questions?
Sounds like it's for a good cause.
It's my birthday.
It is a rather good cause, I would say.
Jimin is like holding two of these interplanetary credit cards. Like, I got two of them.
He's got two little fans, a little hat on.
Okay. Well, that being the case, I think we could probably do the job.
Now, I'm sure things might be a little bit difficult, and it might certainly be heated. There are some folks out there that might not appreciate the shutdown, and we're doing our best to make sure that they don't interfere with everything going on your in your building. But they might get past us. Just be aware. It can be a chaotic situation.
Ah, I see. But you said you didn't care what happens to it after the fact.
Well, as long as that device is operational, I'm a happy man.
Fair enough. In that case, I'm not sure I have any more questions. G-Man seems incredibly happy there, spinning like a rock. And Nefira, you're fine with everything?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and part and make some plans. And, oh, that's right. Agnar, where is that spaceship going to be?
Oh, where will it be?
Yeah.
Well, I will. You know where I will not park it, which would be rather ironic, is if I placed it in one of those lava fields, those lava worm fields that you all seem to love. But I digress. I'm above such petty disputes, and I'm a big man. It will be at the local spaceport where most of the ships are kept for offloading and onloading cargo.
Okay.
I've managed to secure quite the butte for you. It will allow you to. It will have the ability to make it through the atmosphere, and a rondo drive.
I see. Given what you've all told us, I'm sure you'd understand if maybe afterwards you want to just split and get out of here. Now, I don't intend to take it until the job's done, but would you mind handing over the access codes for it now in case can't really communicate to you again quickly?
Well, now I have dealt with mercenaries before, and I'm a little hesitant in doing something like that. Understand my concern, uh, but I assure you, what I can do. How about I do you one better? I will put the codes inside a secure lock. in a facility of your choice, of course. Yeah,
I think at the
anywhere in
spaceport would
town.
probably work. They got secure lockers there.
Yep, I'll put a timed lock on it. Or, and yeah, at that time you can just access it there.
Good. And I think I can trust him about that. He's not like fronting me or anything, right? Probably wouldn't be,
Most
right?
likely.
Okay. No roll required. All right, so I'll kind of nod to that. It's like, all right, this sounds good then. We'll get the job done in a few days. We'll see what happens, I suppose. Seems exciting.
All right. Is there anything you guys would like to do before? Is there any other equipment that you know more information about the job?
I do actually. Hey, Ark,
Yes,
Nefiru, can you help me get a Ganger outfit?
I could. And
Uh,
have we been paid for this new job?
He just slid us over an extra 5 credits each.
Okay, so I'll help you get the Ganger outfit, and I would like to get smart sighting for my
Okay.
railgun.
How much is your discount?
If it's prescribed, 50%. If it's prescribed and expensive, 45% of the total cost.
Okay, so that's gonna be 9 then. That's real good.
That's haggling? Is that what's giving you that?
Black marketer and haggling together.
No, I mean I have a black marketer. I mean the larger part of the discount.
Yeah, the 50% discount is from Black Marketer.
Yeah. So I can get my prescribed gear here, which is really nice. I now have armor, holdout, and scare all at the same time as a bonus.
And I've spent 20 notes and a 1/4. Big deal.
0.15, 75. Hey, that could be an extra 10 ammo. Let's see. And I was looking at holdout stuff. These are just affordable and they're not illegal, so I believe that's no discount, right?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to buy a handful of weapons. I'm going to get 4 holdout shotguns and 10 reloads. On top of everything else
Okay.
that I've gotten.
Wait, did you say 10 holdout shotguns?
4 shotguns and 10 reloads.
Okay. I heard 10 holdout shotguns, and I was like, we getting an army together.
Hey, I gotta arm the revolution somehow here.
That's true.
And, of course, if I negotiate with people and I give them something, that is probably to my benefit instead of just demanding they do something.
That's most likely in your favor.
And I guess now would be the time to roll how many irregulars can I get today.
Roll it up.
Because now we actually have something to do. 1, 2.
Only 2. And what sort of irregulars would you like to take?
Good question. I think, as usual, I'll go with 2 gorillas. And
Okay.
we're just gonna pop lampiers again. So, they're in the building. It's like, oh yeah, we lived here the whole time, by the way. And I'm just like, cool, you're just gonna go downstairs and we're gonna guard stuff for a few days.
Okay.
So they'll have full
So-
reloads. I don't have to do any work.
Before we if everyone's set up to run this mission, it sounds
Mhm.
like you're set up, you have everything. Neferu, are you ready to jump into this mission?
Yes.
All right. How are you doing? How is everyone doing on conditions? Is anyone hurt?
I
I
wasn't
haven't
ever.
been taking. I don't remember keeping track of anything but the first 2 days. So
It'd be 12 more days. So without any modification, that would be 60% to your healing.
well, I'd have to not buy the smart sighting and just go spend
Well,
that
I
on the
mean, you don't
hospital.
have to pay for any hospital visit. The question is, are you
Like,
healed just
yeah.
resting for a week or two?
Well, yeah,
Well, 12 days.
without resting or without buying anything, I think you're at currently you'd be at 75% on your
He
status.
should be higher than that. The first
Should it?
2 days,
Or-
he got 2 days of 15%, which would be 30%. Plus 60% would
Go.
bring him to 90%, which means that he would need to buy one more day to be done now.
Hey,
Okay, I'll
yeah.
do that. Thank you for keeping track.
Yep. I couldn't remember if you had bought 1 day or 2 days of healing.
2 fucking mathematicians in this fucking room, and it takes me to answer questions.
Hey, if I don't know the variables, then I'll know.
We listed the variables for a good 20 minutes.
I was eating a burger.
No, you weren't. You were petting a dog.
Okay, also dogs.
Don't even know where
Dogs and
you
burgers.
were.
He was eating a dog burger, okay?
Mm. Well, thank you very much for helping me with the math, cause you may be mathematicians, I suck at it.
I'm not.
I only sometimes use my powers for good.
You who's
You're an
wearing
honorary mathematician.
you
Theta.
who's wearing the shirt.
Well, the shirt doesn't say he needs to spend one more purchase on doctor's visits.
Look, I can't get past the first letter. Pi,
Well, you know,
backwards E. Sorry, I'm looking at you in a mirrored thing. I'm
I'll
looking
just
at
turn around.
I'm looking at you at the
Does that
roll
make it
20.
easier?
I'm looking at you at the stream overlay, which I have you mirrored. So to me, pi is the first thing I'm seeing.
Yep. The first one is
Oh,
the
square root of 1.
-1.
Yeah.
The square root of -1.
Yeah, but it
and
comes out to be a
then-
positive number, doesn't it?
It comes out to be I.
Irregular. Yeah, imaginary.
Yeah.
Is it an imaginary number?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's an imaginary.
Oh, I would have thought of it as
And
a
then-
decimal.
Nope. The square. It's the square root. Yeah. Any square root of a negative number, it turns into a number.
Yeah, there are
Plus an
no two
irrational.
self-similar numbers that multiply to a negative number.
And then the next one is 2 to the third, or 2 cubed, or 8. And then this is a summation
Mhm.
symbol. This is pi. So it's
Oh, you ate some
I
pie.
ate-
I got it, yeah.
I ate some pie. Yep. And then very at the
Yeah.
bottom it says, and it was delicious. So
Yeah, wow, that's a dumb joke. I feel like I've lost something for having you explain it to me.
You lost the joy of figuring it out yourself and feeling terrible that way.
the funny part about
Well,
it,
here's the thing: is I don't need to know all the rest of it. All I need is the last thing is pie, and it was good. And I was like, okay.
the best part is I actually have 2 identical shirts in different colors because it was given to me as a as a Christmas present, but like one of them was late and didn't show up, so they had to buy one at a faster shipping rate. And so, but then they both ended up arriving on time. And so I ended up with 2 shirts that are identical except for the color.
Yeah, now
Nice.
with a story about how 2 trains departing at different times, what time they met. Oh, all great math stories. Oh, I'm gonna go shoot myself in the face.
But what I was going to say is if we're about to jump into this, I would say we pause and then just start it fresh and jump into this.
Oh, really? The
Next
20-minute delay about pie and shirts wasn't enough for you?
But what I wanted to talk about before we left is I wanted to talk about the last mission and how it was rather difficult.
Okay.
The first thing is I realized that the last, especially after seeing how it went, that last encounter was very deadly. But and that was also with some of the I definitely bear a burden because that was some of the monsters that I chose were rather tough. Originally, the way the encounter was supposed to be ran was that 2 of the guards were going to be there at the front door when you came in and would have kind of confronted you. And then when you reached the scientist's room, the drones would have been arriving in waves as they
Right.
arrived. But you guys like smashed through the door and took your time and took a very as drunken physics described it, you hit everything with a hammer, regardless of if it was a nail or a screw. And like the scientists, you destroyed one of their spider drones out in the caldera, but they didn't know you were aggressive until you started blowing through their door. You could have
Right.
bluffed your way in.
Mhm.
And you also, there was a bunch of like you didn't ask about the facility at all in the city or do any research about where
Mhm.
you're going. There was also an avenue of the shuttle that was there was their resupply shuttle, and you could have
Just taken
gotten
that.
disguises again and then tried to get in like that. And so when you guys just like fought your way in, that's when they were all ready and prepared for you.
Yeah,
So
I missed the first half,
that's
so
where
I
I
missed
was
like
coming
every
from.
opportunity for that, I think. And no one really seemed to like, at least like prompt like that they were talkable. I guess everyone was like on the warpath, I think. So that's just the angle we went.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to say that I made the encounter too tough, but I also was trying to react to everything that and the tax that you as a party were taking.
It's fine.
Right.
As the unofficial leader, Griff is the one to blame for everything.
Hey,
You led us
As long as
there.
the blame, yeah,
I
as
was
long
in
as
a
the blame is on
hurricane.
Griff.
You weren't in a hurricane. You were here.
Not for the first half
Excuses.
where you guys actually had decided on a plan before.
We didn't decide on a plan. When you
We
came
did.
back, we were literally, should we
At
go
the
down the
caldera.
cliffside? Yeah, we got to the caldera, and then we had a long discussion
so half
about what
those-
to do.
So all the information gathering was off the table. What can I do after that? I have to rely on what you do.
You had all the information that we had. We were literally
Yeah,
told
all
all
that-
the. We were told all the information we got.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway. At least this time, I'm here, and I'll probably be here for future ones, unless we decide to get
Some
destroyed again by another hurricane.
hurricanes.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to tough it out through it. When the power breaks, I'll just have to break out the generator. Keep playing.
Yeah, and you have to think about your milk. Like,
Oh gosh,
because of
yeah,
that,
no.
you ruined your milk.
It's either the milk or the game. How do you decide these?
And yeah, I'm not trying to like be to say it's a bad
Mhm.
way. It's just I like
No, I got it. You're making
I
excuses
will
for trying to kill us all.
respond.
I understand.
I will just respond like like the enemies I like to run are usually intelligent enough to respond to whatever method you're doing. So
Yeah.
And yet still fight to the death for some reason.
Yeah, the only reason was really difficult was because most of them were just drones, and the drones were going to like give up and surrender.
It's amazing how
And-
few people will beg for their lives.
So it really just depended on the scientists, which I was kind
And-
of hoping for.
yeah, that's another thing is all the stuff there were drones except for the scientist.
Mhm.
And the 2
Uh,
or 3 guards.
Yeah, the
Who
2 guards which
threw their
you
lives away.
killed in, like very initial. You killed almost immediately.
No, the other guy was
There
still
were
running
guards
around.
there? I didn't know.
The other guy was
Yeah,
still
he-
running
he-
around
he
just
hid
easy. Yeah.
He was hidden and panicked, and he was out of it. But,
Well, he stopped being panicked the moment he hit, so.
well, cowering for his life, he was out of the combat. So, for experience for today's session, yeah, it was a lot of role playing. So how'd everyone gets 1 for being here.
Mhm.
What else?
We finished the goal to convince the scientists to change their policies in a very, very roundabout manner.
In a very roundabout manner, you did manage to burst through the door and convince them to change their mind about doing such broadcasts.
Okay.
So what's the goal gift? Gift goal.
I know I'm looking at my notes to make sure with the tact that you guys used would something like, let's see, would resolve, like I personally thought resolve, this seemed like more of a major gift with how it was. I thought resolve might be useful, just
Or
because you
veteran.
guys, a lot of you took a lot of damage, and it was one in which you guys like just fought through a lot of debilitating statuses. It's the second time Jamin has been injured and kind of tanked through that.
Cool.
We're getting used to it at this point.
Taking resolve and selling it back. How about
But
the
I will
other?
definitely take resolve.
How about the other goal of dirt on Lazaro?
It's not quite finished.
Really? That's not dirt? Do we not dig up dirt on Lazaro? I would
We
argue
know what it is, but we don't know, like you said, if it's true or not, or where it is, or anything of the sort. We just know the rumor now.
it's still dirt, though.
I guess we could clarify it to figure out how he made a planet disappear.
He didn't. Solved.
Or if he didn't, there you go.
He didn't. Solved.
So Eli, will we want to specify that?
Yeah, once you know if it's actually solved, if he actually did this planet,
I just
did
want
make this
to
planet disappear.
throw out there that dirt does not have to be true. Slander is dirt.
Mm-hmm. I guess my question is, where would we go to learn about that? I'm not really sure right now at this point of the story.
A children's library.
Because Lazaro was from another planet, the one he's claiming that's gone. He was at Panopticon, and I don't think he has any relation to this planet.
He does not have relationship to this
What's
planet.
the goal
And maybe
being
that's
changed
why-
to?
How about discover the truth about Lazaro?
That's a good one. There we go. All right, so I'm down for that.
All right, I got that written down.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third goal, which would be for this mission, that would be to protect Ognar's equipment for the duration of whatever he's planning.
Right, so I can change that over to that, and that's easy done. So everything's looking pretty good now. I think I have enough that I could probably go and find a gift. I just have to go figure out what was I gonna build into again. Oh yeah, cover buff and Lampier shell would be a pretty good one. Troop leader too. I'll have to start taking a look and see what I'm gonna get.
No, cover buff. Oh, cool. So you just get to ignore 1 damage when you're taking cover.
Yep, same as like with the gorillas.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So if
Right,
yeah, go ahead.
That's all I had.
Okay. I guess let's wrap it up then. Let's sign out with the mottos.
Yeah, let's hear everyone's mottos.
1 shot, 1 kill.
Down with our oppressors.
Can't you hear the music?
All right, and with that, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.